Oh man, it's funny. It's like I just recorded about an hour and a half worth of stuff, but but I just stopped at 7-Eleven to pick up a bottle of water, which would make sense if what? Yeah. All right, which would make more sense. Which would make more sense if I didn't delete the last two videos because there was a reason. God damn it. There was a reason why I went and picked up water. Oh, I know what to do. I have my secret pocket. I had this. We went back to the house so I can get a gummy and Valhalla, I think they're called. I don't know. I get them from the fucking dispensary. But speaking of, I'll have to get there on Saturday. I'm almost out of supplies. I don't get high just to get high. I get high to work. In my old life. Well, no, I mean, it was still part of this life, but early on this journey, there's like, if you scroll down to the very beginning, right? The very first video that I put up, that was the time in my life. That was 2008. That was August 2018. In July of August, in July of 2018, I was doing a lot of card readings, and I was really getting into embracing taking a mystical path, mystical spiritual path, which was completely fucking alien to me at the time. I'd only been really studying and practicing for about 10 months at that point, but what was fucked up was that over the course of 10 months, it was like, yep, this is fucking happening. Holy shit. So one of the experiments that I did was, because this kind of work requires you to like really think outside of the box, which is difficult to do thanks to the left brain training that we have, which keeps us really rigid and really like inside the box thinking. Outside the box thinking shouldn't be as hard as it is. It's not supposed to be. That's literally what the other half of your brain is built for, is to think outside the box so this side of your brain doesn't get trapped. It's the key holder. It's a gatekeeper. But it's the dragon in front of the door, as Ophiuchus once told me. But something I did was, I had this thought, because over the course of time, this wasn't an overnight thing, but over the course of time, I realized that when I smoked pot, I was more connected than I was when I was sober, obviously. So my thought was, and mind you, my son kind of stopped coming by as much, and I wasn't making an effort because I felt the effort needed to be made. I felt that I made enough of an effort that if I have to continue doing it, I have to make the effort for you to want to be with me. Sorry. I could do it to a girl, but I can't do it to my son, who lives like 2 blocks away. Not like that nigga was far. He was 2 blocks away. Oh, nobody told us that part. Of course not. No, why would anybody say that part? Because if you tell that part of the story, then it looks like, oh, well, if he was right there, why wasn't he going over there? Well, the AC didn't work. And I was doing an experiment. Because, one, I didn't have the money. You have to understand. I had just quit my job. The AC breaking was a test. Was like a fucked up test. That's how I see it now. Then I saw it as just like, oh, God damn it. All right, well, you know what? Fuck it. Let's see what happens. Let's see if I can make it work. And I did. I actually didn't. I'm not a big fan of air conditioning. That's something else to consider. I get that from my father. My father wasn't a big AC guy either. He lived on the beach. He just kept the windows open all day. Yeah. Plus, that's what I'm doing. I'm keeping the windows open all day. I got the doors open. I got my music playing. My house actually came to life after my wife left, because she went down the street too. She went down the street to stay at her mom's and her dad's, who had a lot more space than we did. The son had his own room, video game set up, all of his stuff that he wanted from his old room, he took with him. Everything he didn't want from his old room, he left. That nigga was out. This wasn't like Ozzy and Harriet type of living. This was fucking Bonnie and Clyde versus the law. Because I demanded order and structure. They didn't want order or structure. They just wanted to do shit their own way. But my biggest fear was the boy turning out to be like his father, who was a fucking useless failure. Because that's how I thought about myself. I thought I was a useless failure who was good for nothing. Because even after working 60, 70 hours a week for 13 years, I'm still getting called lazy. Every year, my wife continues to relapse back on drugs that could literally kill her, that have killed many of our friends over since we were teenagers. Even some of her best friends to that day had their lives ruined by this particular drug. But no, it just kept on going every year. And I would know. Like, I could sense it. I attributed it to a few things. One, being an empath, because I always knew I was psychic. Ever since I was a kid. It wasn't just because people didn't believe me, didn't mean that I didn't believe. Clairvoyant, claircognizant, clairaudient. They've always been there. I didn't know they had names, though. No one ever told me that, which is what pisses me off. That's why I get pissed off, is because it's like, what do you mean the shit was there the whole time and nobody told me? Why did nobody ever think to say, hey, Derek, this might be... So, yeah, I see it. I mean, I even asked her to come back a couple times. I thought we were getting back together. That's when I was doing my reading last week, and the girl said, like, oh, you're holding on to something. Oh, I know exactly what I'm holding on to. Like, that's not even in question. Wait, you know? Yeah, of course I know. I'm very self-aware. I just needed to have that level of a conversation with somebody, because it comes to a point where, like, you know what I used to do in my spare time? I used to call Freemason lodges and just have conversations with whoever picked up the phone. Sometimes for 2 hours. Because another one of the difficult things is, like, you have to be right where I'm at. And I don't know how many people are at this place or if people are at this place, but so much stuff has to come out and it has to be given to somebody. And because the Freemasons are doing the same thing, they're the concept behind Freemasonry is exactly what I'm doing. And just like all of the other magical organizations that have existed over the period of time, is they've been looking for this to one degree or another. For one degree or another, of an Abe's, of a beads, or a goal. I'm the Eye of Ra. I have, the eye is in my head. It's turned on now. Because I met his protector. And now I'm not afraid. Because I'm coming to the realization that I have absolutely nothing to fear ever again. And I never did. But thanks to my work with gods and entities and beings that don't exist, I've been rewarded. If you want to call it that. Cursed is another way to look at it. But you know what? Something I've learned by studying the dark arts, the black arts. Because I study black magic. Do you know why I study black magic? As a defense mechanism against myself. To make sure that I can't do anything wrong, because I cast everything on me. I am dripping. My soul is so black, so palorid. The girl who did my reading, she felt my higher self grab her ankles. She didn't say it at first, that she knew what it was, but I knew. And at the end of the reading, she was telling me what it looked like. And she explained it exactly the way that it is. And then I said to her, yeah, what grabs your legs, we call them tentacle hands. It reaches out into the ethers and grabs what it wants. It grabs what I need. So while we were still on camera, I said it. I was like, don't do that again. Do not do that. Not without permission. Because she even said it herself, like, something came in without permission. Which is weird. Yeah, because, and the reason for that, and I didn't really get into it, is that I'm not saying I'm above the law. I'm equal with the law. Natural law as well. And I believe that her higher self, that she calls hell, uh-oh, that's where Miss Hellfire came from. Please tell me that, oh my God, that could be bad. Because he's good for business. Yeah, he is. Yeah, because I never told her about the fact that that for the past 2.5 years, I've been running an occult shop out of my mom's bedroom. An occult workshop that's registered under the Toxic Order LLC. Registered out of New Jersey. Yeah, 2.5 years. That's actually pretty impressive. I own a metaphysical shop. Huh. I never looked at it like that before. Remember that time? Oh, I deleted that video too. God damn it. Right before we got to fucking 7-Eleven, I was recording. I told you, I recorded 2 hours worth of shit right before this. And fucking, I was all in a humpy, grumpy mood because I got up from a nap. And I wanted to go on a date today. And we went down to the labyrinth. We went down to the Labyrinth. Oh, we've never been down. No, we were here the other night. But this is the good spot. We went down to the Labyrinth, and I'm fucking venting and just getting shit out. And it felt good. It was a continuation from this morning. And but again, like I didn't have my gummy. So I was a little bit like frumpy. And and so we went for a walk. And so something was like, all right, you got to go back to the house. So we went back to the house. I brought you into my house. I brought you into my room. I brought you into the bathroom when I took a piss. Oh, we were doing so much stuff. Oh, man. That was a good one. But as soon as we went to 7-Eleven to get water, because I even said it, I'm like, I don't know why we came back to the house. Then we get to my room, and I'm like, oh, shit. I need to get water. So we went around the block. We took a little bit of a walk just to finish out the recording, and I timed it. I kind of just felt. I'm like, all right, so there's this many minutes left. That's enough time to get back to 7-Eleven and then maybe wrap this up. But the video had cut off maybe 2 blocks away from 7-Eleven. So I go into 7-Eleven and I'm talking to my friend, and we got the water, and I came outside, and I'm like, wait, do I really want to go home right this second? I'm having so much fun. And then I'm like, all right, fuck it. Let's do an experiment. It's not like everything I just said for the past 2 hours. I mean, it was really just me whining. So then I'm like, all right, how about this? Why don't you just delete what you got and record something brand new? Who gives a fuck? It's not like anyone's gonna get any value out of any of this. At least not for a while. And who knows, maybe that one piece is going to be the piece that like everybody needed to prove that you are what they say you are. So then I get a flash, because as I was walking, because there was a couple things happening. So as I was walking to 7-Eleven, this was actually before all of that happened, I was thinking about my lady friend, and I'm thinking about reasons why she hadn't even said anything, which I was surprised that she never even texted to go like, nah, I'm too tired tonight. And so then I had this flash, because her boss doesn't like me. I think it's because I'm white, or he doesn't like me because he talks, because people talk about me when I'm not around, which they do, and he told me that they do. Because even in my interview, he threw my relationship with her in my face. And I was so fucking pissed, dude. Like, in my head, I'm going, you cocksucker. But at the same time, I'm like, all right, cool it down. This is happening for a reason. This is happening because you knew this was going to happen. You knew it was going to get brought up. So who gives a shit how it was done? Congratulations to him, because obviously he's probably worth his weight in salt at his job, because if he had the balls to actually say that to you, because I'm sure that was uncomfortable for him. And I'm sure a part of him did like it too. He's actually a cool guy. I like him. But I like him because nobody else likes him. Everyone talks so much shit about this guy. Well, I mean, from a work perspective. I don't know anything about his personal life. Yeah, I know a couple things. But like I said, people like to talk. In that industry, there's a lot of gossip. That's why I tell everybody everything. Everybody knows everything about me. One of my friends, she came to me once, because I tell everybody I'm a witch. I make sure you know it right off the fucking bat. Because I am not going to deal with no bullshit in the future. Well, why didn't he say anything? You didn't tell us anything that you work with the dark arts. Yeah, I did. I'm a fucking witch. What do you expect? My one friend, she used to go like, oh, you're doing your magic to bring me here. No! I'm doing my magic to make things work. It just happens to be that you're one of the people that this place needs to help make this work. But why did he throw it in my face? Because I went in for an interview. That's what happened. I went in for an interview because that's where I wanted to work from the very beginning. Which I think I was mentioning that this morning. It's like, that's where I wanted to work from the beginning, because that store's in a casino and I just like being around. I love that job. Working for Hugo Boss is like a lot of fun if you got the right people that you're working with. Because when people come in, depending on the situation, like some people come in and it's fucking dope as hell. Like I get a lot of Jew clients, gypsy clients. They used to call me the gypsy magnet at my one store because all the gypsies just flock to me because it's the magic blood. They can smell it on me like I could smell it on them. So those would always be my clients. And I would get to know the families, all the ladies. Actually, one of them I went to get my reading by them. They're fucking amazing. They're awesome. But even the Jews would come in, and then I'd get into conversation with Jews about Hebrew, and then we'd get down these like fucking... Sometimes I had this one client, this one couple come in, I was suiting them, and fucking... She was teaching me fucking Jew magic. She was from Israel. She came here on a mission, and she found him. Infiltration mission, ma'am? But there were some cool times in those stores. I did like it a lot, but the politics of the corporate aspect of it I didn't like, which is typically the way that things go. Because I was also working with this recovery force, they were called, in Atlantic City, and way to go calling them. And that was fucked up because the fucking guy running the joint, yo. At this point, when I first met them, I was already in my shit. I was already there. And I tried to explain that a little bit. I didn't get too much into it. Everybody knew I read tarot cards. I didn't tell anybody that I was an empath and that I can read minds. That's when life gets hectic. Whoa, yeah, well, what am I thinking? You're thinking about a big dick in your mouth. And getting your face jerked off on. That's what you're thinking about. How do you know that? Why? Because I know that in the future, at least one person in the entire world is thinking that exact same thing right this second while watching this. I don't know when that's going to happen, but one day in the future. And I hope you respond too. Yeah, you're talking to me. I hope they're not laughing at it like I am. Because he's right. So what I was thinking, as I'm walking to 7-Eleven, I got this vision of my lady's friend's boss going, don't you fucking talk to him. I got word from fucking corporate. Nobody's supposed to talk to this fucking guy. Nobody's even supposed to say his fucking name. No one is even supposed to fucking know him, because if you know him, you're gonna get fired. So keep your shit shut. Don't fucking talk to this asshole and get your shit together. That's what went through my head. And then I went down this rabbit hole because I know why that would be. I know exactly why that would be. Because I tried contacting the third-party attorney that oversees all compliance issues. Because I've been having at least $350 withheld from me for 4 weeks. But I also made a big stink about the fact that I wasn't getting paid extra pay that I was supposed to be getting. But nobody told me. And then once I brought it up, they started making all these fucking bullshit excuses why they couldn't do it and why that wasn't a thing. And then had me fucking paying for my own travel expenses reimbursing me within 4 days of me submitting the fucking expense report because I was waiting for I was assured that I would have somebody paying the fucking hotel for me. And then once we get to the hotel, I'll see if they want to keep you. Yeah, but I'm running out of money. All right, well, you can go home and I'll get somebody else to do it. What the fuck? And then I didn't even get anyone paying for the fucking hotel until I had to email the fucking vice president of the company. The vice president of the company. I had to email the vice fucking president of the company to tell him what the fuck was going on, because one, the guy who my contact, it was supposed to be his last day. It was supposed to be his last day, and I fucking told him from the very beginning, I got a bad feeling about this one. Like, I just feel a little bit nervous. Oh, don't worry, they're gonna take care, everything's gonna be taken care of. Because I give a fuck, so that means that whoever takes over for me is gonna give a fuck, so they have no choice but to give a fuck about you. Oh no, apparently they do, because nobody gives a fuck that I put in a fucking report, a fucking thing with the goddamn compliance department. It's been a fucking week and a half. I still haven't gotten paid. And mind you, I threw in shit that technically I see why. I didn't make a fight over it. I didn't make a big fucking fight over it when it was happening, because I was told by people, and I overheard conversations that people were probably not supposed to be having in front of me about company policy that nobody ever fucking explained to me. Oh, because you're seasonal. Nigga, seasonal is a season. I've been in that last store for 4 months. You never put in my termination papers. They have me on the system as a regular employee. My credentials still work. I just signed a commission agreement. What the fuck do you mean I'm not a fucking regular employee? Just because you fucked up doesn't mean that I have to suffer the fucking consequences for it. Sorry, loophole. How about we fucking talk to the goddamn fucking compliance department about that? Oh, I did. And I talked to the fucking vice president about it with his 2 fucking jokers attached to the fucking email. Because fuck that shit, man. I'm not going to fucking deal with this. And yeah, I broke out fucking diva mode. Oh, we're doing this is how it's going to fucking be going forward. Because the fucking work that I put into you fucking guys, the passion and the fucking fire that I put into those fucking stores, is you going to fucking treat me like this? I didn't say it in those fucking words, but I heard them laughing. As I was writing, there was so much fire and fury inside of me that I could hear them all laughing while I'm doing it, which was getting me fucking even angrier. And then I hit them with like 3 fucking emails that day. But it wasn't like just going, oh, you fucking this, you fucking that. I don't think I cursed too often, maybe once or twice. But that's just, I told myself, don't filter yourself for these fucking people. Do not fucking filter yourself. You talk to them the way that you would talk to them if you were in their fucking face right now. Thank God you're on a fucking train. Because one, I'm a fucking shareholder, which I have not shied the fuck about. I don't give a fuck if it's 1 share or fucking 8 billion fucking shares. I'm a fucking shareholder. Treat me with the fucking respect that a fucking shareholder would have if he owned all the fucking shares. Oh no, I'm sorry, I don't own it. Hugo's boss owns it. My subsidiary company. Because thankfully, Uncle Hugo taught me how to fucking organize an organization. How to fucking organize a fucking 100-year-old billion-dollar fucking corporation. I didn't just go there because I needed to fucking scratch my dick and flirt with pretty girls. Nope. The reason I fucking went there was to infiltrate the company and learn. Because I'd never been in the industry before. So I thought to myself 5 years prior, I could make a huge impact there. I could make a gigantic, like, positive impact there. Why? Because I don't know nothing about that industry. but I'm not without an impressive work history. That's the thing. Like, you know how many times I handed those people my fucking resume? Do you know how many people talked to me about my resume? None. Not a single fucking one. My brother's friend hired me. Oh, I can't wait for them to see the tapes on that. Why the fuck is this guy in the back office? Oh, believe me, trust me, I started a shitstorm. I want those cameras to be watched. I actually encouraged it. I encouraged it with the management staff. I don't have proof. I don't have proof that I was in the store for these hours, but these were the hours I was in the store. These are the hours that I wasn't paid for. Because they didn't pay me for hours. My last paycheck, so Hugo Boss, you get commission. You get 2% commission when you start. It's not bad. If you're in a store that has high volume, it's great. If you're in a store that has no volume, these people are fucking jokers, man. They seriously are. I don't know who the fuck comes up with this shit and who doesn't look at these statistics. No wonder nobody fucking wants to work for you, dick shit, because you're not fucking paying them. We were hiring people at $12 an hour with 2% commission on a store that makes about $1,000 a year. It makes more than that, but it's like, what? And mind you, the 4 months I was there, I wasn't eligible for commission because I was seasonal. Because I just quit. I quit. I got out. I fucking got out, man. I even gave 4 weeks notice, not even 2 weeks notice. I gave 4 fucking weeks notice. Because I had that much respect. And mind you, I'm a fucking rat. Because I went into the job as a business owner who was doing a thought experiment. How to get into the boss mindset. All right. Well, conveniently, I just got offered a job at Hugo Boss. Be your own boss. Hashtag be your own boss. I just started a company last summer. What better way to get into boss mode than to fucking work at Boss and pretend to be the undercover boss? Hugo's undercover boss. It was so perfect. But that wasn't even the plan when I first went. That was the plan when I went in. I didn't have the names for it until I was doing the corporate training and I was learning about the process of business organization, brand building. Who the fuck better to learn branding from than a fucking $2.2 billion company that has fucking tentacles in every country? If Hugo Boss wanted, they could become the New World Order tomorrow. Literally. Like, there's sometimes I look at Hugo Boss and go, this was Hitler's grand plan. This was Hitler's plan. They knew what they were doing. Because you have to understand that the spirit of a company doesn't die. It's just like a human, especially when that spirit is kept alive. Do you know the history of Hugo Boss? Do you know what happened to poor Hugo after World War II ended? Drugged through the mud. Shamed. Named and shamed. That's what happened to him. That's why if you talk bad about this company, it's in the company policy. You do something that fucks with the stock prices in a negative way, you will be named and shamed, just like our founder. It doesn't say that, but that's what happened to the guy. he was so destroyed after it, mentally and emotionally,